boy, I can't believe it. We are almost done. The nightmare is approaching its end. Are you guys excited? Because I know I am. Hey everybody, I'm Alex the Critic, and today we're gonna be reviewing the final episode of Magical Girl Friendship Squad. Now, because this retrospective has been such a core pillar of my channel for so long, we'll take our sweet time and break down what has gone on in this series so far, instead of just getting into things.
Magical Girl Friendship Squad chronicled the journey of two jobless, hedonistic losers named Alex and Daisy, who were suddenly tasked with being their planet's first line of defense against malevolent mystical forces by the creator of their universe. An all-powerful being named Nut, who is forced to take on the appearance of a red panda while on Earth for poorly established reasons. Throughout their adventures, they've done battle with a variety of wacky adversaries, from dimension-hopping emo midgets, to literal social media bot accounts, to self-esteem killing mushrooms, to menstruation monsters. Many of the enemies they've squared up against have been the creations of Aggregon, a massive corporation whose owner, Virus, is conspiring to destroy their world for reasons that are equally poorly defined. All the while, they've gone through their fair share of interpersonal conflicts, from romantic struggles, to self-worth issues stemming from their lots in life, to breaking free from the shackles of generational trauma. Twice.
It has definitely been a wild ride, where the character motivations got messy and the plot holes kept piling up, but damned if I'm not committed to finishing it.
Anyways, in the last episode, Daisy accidentally got sent to another universe controlled by Nut's sister, Gloriana, wherein she learned to appreciate the free will that Nut granted her in her world. Alex, meanwhile, went to a women's empowerment conference Aggregon was holding in the hopes of finding out more about their evil schemes, which is where we, the audience, finally met Varys. No, the writers didn't do much to flesh out her character, and Daisy's subplot didn't make that much sense either. But to give the writers some credit, the plot actually did progress in this episode. Gloriana revealed to Daisy that she wasn't destined to be Nut's guardian, she was just chosen at random. Alex, on the other hand, was found out as a mole by Corvin, but proceeded to defeat the menstrual monsters and the machines he was using to create them once Daisy found her way back to their universe. This leads to Corvin getting fired from his job. Then, at the very end of the episode, Alex and Daisy tell Nut to piss off in an incredibly anticlimactic scene, and Alex accepts an offer from Virus to become her new second-in-command, teasing her turn to evil.
It may have been rushed as all hell, but at least the status quo had finally changed. So, are you guys excited to see how these writers plan to conclude this glorious epic? Neither am I, but I'm putting myself through it anyways. Let's review this fucker.
The final episode opens on a random pier, where Alex and Daisy try to process the events of the last episode.
I don't miss Nut at all.
I don't miss her the most.
She lied to us. She said we were fated to be her guardians when really she picked us because we seemed like we had nothing better to do.
Oh my god. These writers can't even keep their own retcon straight. Even if we ignore that Nut directly told these two idiots that they weren't destined to be guardians, she explicitly explained that the reason why she picked them anyways was because she misunderstood their jokes about John Wick.
You, Alex and Daisy, are my fated guardians. It is now your duty to protect the entire universe.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You didn't say anything about duty. Duty.
We can't protect the universe. We can barely take care of ourselves.
I used a W-2 as a pad last week.
But you are warriors. You said you killed 3 men with a pencil.
Were these episodes written out of order? Because that's the only explanation for this bullshit that makes any sense.
No, I don't miss her, and I don't mind missing breakfast since she isn't around to make us double-decker pancake sandwiches.
I'm not even hungry. My stomach is growling with rage.
Wait, so Nut has been cooking food for you two on top of gifting you these all-powerful magical abilities, and yet you still scoffed at her when she asked y'all to clean your rooms?
You're a douchebag. Douchebag. Douchebag.
I'll just eat something at work. What?
At Agragon? You're still working there after that whole them trying to kill us with mutant egg monsters thing?
Wow, okay. I wasn't expecting the writers to actually acknowledge this plot point. Rare Daisy W, I guess?
Virus wants to reform the company. This is my opportunity to do something good, even without Nut.
She's tried to kill you multiple times!
Okay, but it's not actually that great an opportunity if the universe blows up, right?
How do we even know that's happening? Nut lied to us once.
Probably because the first monster y'all fought pretty much gave the game away.
The vibe in here feels different.
Hey, did you mix up the decaf and regular or something? Why is everyone so
Chill.
Oh, shit.
Wait, you got possessed by a disgusting monster after we were doing it yesterday, right?
They're just relaxed. I slipped them a little extra CBD in their lattes. Or maybe a lot extra. Who needs all that pesky energy? Once I finish collecting their energy in this crystal, my boss will be one step further along in his sinister plan.
Like, even if you think that Nut lied to you two about the nature of your powers, you cannot dismiss Daisy's concerns like this. Virus literally kidnapped her parents and tried to turn them into mindless robots. Who cares what her specific plans might be? The fact that you're still trusting this woman after all of that makes you just as bad as her.
Alex, are you serious right now? You're that desperate for approval that you'll let Virus brainwash you?
Screw you! At least I'm trying to do something instead of sitting on the couch complaining.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but this is well-written character drama. Like, I'm actually invested in the conflict between Alex and Daisy, and that's because it's rooted in things that are internally consistent with plot points that were established previously in the show. Why couldn't the rest of the series have been like this? Also, notice how Alex didn't refute Daisy's point.
The whole thing is highly suspect.
Alex cuts off the conversation by sighing and walking off to her job, muttering that she's going to be late. We then smash cut to Nut, who's running through their apartment building, desperate to find someone else to take on her guardianship.
Hello, I come to you with an important mission.
A raccoon!
I created this universe and everything
Has
in it.
anyone ever told you you'd make a fabulous fur hat?
Okay, is everyone in this universe an utter fucking moron? You are encountering a talking animal. At the very least, I expect you to be worried that you accidentally took some hallucinogens, or are having a psychotic break, or something.
What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to fucking acknowledge it.
Pikachu!
Ah yes, nothing says progressive and tolerant like turning away a potential guardian all because he mistook you for a fictional character. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't Alex mistake you for a raccoon in the pilot episode?
Daisy, why is there a raccoon on our couch?
I am not a raccoon. I have taken the form of a red panda. My species is endangered, much like your world.
Alex?
Yep, I hear it. Talking raccoon on our couch.
Alex, Daisy, I've come to you with an important mission.
Did you microdose me without telling me again?
What's the phone number for animal control?
Funny how that works, huh?
We cut back over to the Aggregon building, where Alex tries to flex her newfound status as a corporate executive by delivering coffee to the doorman, only to find his seat empty. Ooh. She remarks on how odd this is, then walks over to the elevator and tries to use it. When its doors open, however, two of the monsters from the last episode pop out and grab her. They then take her to Virus's office, where our resident antagonist menacingly praises her for being on time on her first day on the job.
Jeez, it's almost like trusting this woman was a terrible idea! Who'da thunk it?
This is fine. Nut's gone, Alex is obsessed with her new job, I'm alone, which is totally fine.
Not buying it.
Before Daisy can sink further into depression, she hears a knock at the door. She opens it and is greeted by her landlord Lulu, whom she tries to have a friendly conversation with. Lulu isn't having any of it though, bluntly asking our protagonist if she's seen any wild animals running around. I wouldn't want to talk to my tenant either if they had eyes like this. When she clarifies that the other tenants have reported seeing a raccoon, Daisy nervously denies having seen such an animal herself, and because everyone in this series is written to be a goddamn idiot, Lulu buys her obvious lie and walks away, grumbling about the inconvenience of the situation.
Stupid raccoon could have gone anywhere, but she had to come here, and now I have to deal with it.
She could have gone anywhere, but she came here.
Wow, was that really all of the encouragement that Daisy needed to change her entire outlook? A chance encounter with her landlord where she just so happened to catch what she said under her breath? Look, I know that the writers only have 11 minutes to work with, but this character arc is incredibly rushed and contrived. But I think I can look past this, so long as Daisy doesn't literally find Nut in the very next scene.
Nut,
Daisy?
you look well.
And yourself?
Oh my god, you couldn't even give us one moment of uncertainty? Why not at least have Daisy walk to some location they've hung out in previously? Like the courtyard in episode 2. That would have been a nice little callback. But nope, just have Nut hang around the laundry room for no discernible reason. You know, it's really hard to get invested in your story if we know that there's no real danger of your characters losing anything, you incompetent boobs. Case in point.
I'm sorry for freaking out.
I am sorry for lying to you.
It might not have been our destiny to protect you, but it's our job now, and I'm not gonna give up.
Thank you, Daisy.
Guys, why did you bother writing that plot twist into the end of the 5th episode if you were just gonna reset the status quo like that? And before I get any smart comments, let me make it perfectly clear that I don't have a problem with the idea of this story. In fact, this is probably Daisy's best showing as a character yet. It's just that this change comes out of nowhere and has all of the setup of a pop quiz. It's like these episodes were all written on the go, which they probably were.
Let's call Alex. She's probably bored as hell at work without me G-chatting her a steady stream of dank memes.
Tell me your jokes were written by out-of-touch millennials without telling me that they were written by out-of-touch millennials. Seriously. That might have been the cringiest line in the whole show, and we've heard some real stinkers thus far.
Answer and I kill him.
What's up?
Aren't you just glad that you took Virus up on her offer, Alex? Hold on, how did Virus know to use Coffee Guy as a hostage?
After Alex leaves Daisy hanging, the latter assumes that the former must still be mad with her, which is news to me because Daisy has said far worse shit to her than what she said at the beginning of the episode, but I digress. When she explains what happened to Nut, she freaks out and warns Daisy that if Virus were to find out Alex's true identity, she'll kill her, so they have to go save her. Wait, what?
If Virus is aware of Alex and her role as my guardian, Alex is in dire trouble. We have to save her.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm still not buying your pathetic attempts to create drama. Alex and Daisy transformed into their guardian forms inside Virus's headquarters. There's no way she doesn't know who they are. Even if she doesn't know, it's not like this threat is going to materialize into any real consequences for our protagonists, so just drop the pretense.
We need a key card to get in.
Like this one?
First off, why doesn't Daisy just use her guardian form to break down the door? Second off, I pray to God that Virus isn't stupid enough to keep Corbin's keycard in her system, thus giving him an easy way to break into her building.
Amazing coat, judgmental eyes. Chalamet for men cologne. You're Alex's old boss.
Until Virus fired me to give Alex my job. But she didn't count on this.
Why do I bother getting upset about this? I know that the stupidity is coming from a mile away.
Why are you helping us?
Here's the better question. Why are you so quick to trust him? Did she forget that he had a hand in the kidnapping of her parents? For all she knows, this could be a trap that she's walking into. You guys better give me a good excuse for this plot point.
Because it's the right thing to do. Also, I'm starting to suspect Virus isn't going to bring me to a new universe when this one gets destroyed.
He just revealed that he was conspiring with Virus to take over the world, and yet you're still taking him at his word?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh my.
You know what? Why don't you just give Daisy the victory at this point? Have Virus come out, stab herself in the chest, and bleed out on the floor while she and Alex make out and become gods or whatever. That would be less of an insult to my intelligence than this bullshit.
Our heroes, if you can call them that, come across the same monsters that kidnapped Alex before, and Corvin tells Daisy to make a break for the elevator while he distracts them. The plan works flawlessly, because of course it would, and we smash cut back to Virus's office, where Alex and Coffee Dude engage in awkward small talk before Virus tells them to shut up.
You know, it's never a good sign when I'm siding with the villain despite their stupidity.
I thought you could use a little extra incentive to turn against our friend Nut. If you don't do as I say, your boyfriend will die.
Oh, he's not my...
I mean, we've only been on 2 dates.
Like, the stakes probably aren't as high here as you wanted.
Wow, Alex is a real piece of shit, isn't she? I mean, she basically said that Coffee Dude's life means nothing to her because they've barely started dating. Let's not forget that this is the same dude that she's been pining for throughout this entire series, and yet she thinks this lowly of him?
You're a waste of thought.
I mean, I'd be sad if you died.
I'd be sad if you died.
Really?
Yeah, of course the writers wouldn't let Alex suffer any consequences for her actions. I'm more surprised that Coffee Dude didn't just thank her for the disrespect like the good cuck he is.
Enough stalling. Reject Nut and place the final crystal now, or I kill him.
Man, what a good judge of character Alex is. Then again, she is friends with Daisy, so I shouldn't be that shocked by this turn of events.
If you obey me, I will spare you both.
So you're telling me I have to choose between a future with this guy I've been on 2 dates with, or the entire universe, including all my friends and everyone I've ever met? He is really tall.
You know what? I can see why Alex doesn't care about Coffee Dude all that much. After all, it's not like there was an entire episode where magical talking mushrooms nearly tore apart her friendship with Daisy because they filled her mind with self-deprecating thoughts about her chances with the guy.
Alex takes the crystal from Virus, but just before she can actually do anything, Daisy and Nut arrive and jump out of the elevator, because of course Virus would be unaware of anyone taking the elevator to the floor she's on. She immediately comes to her senses and apologizes for not heeding Nut's warning about Virus. You know, as if she wasn't the most obvious villain of all time. This then leads to a genuinely funny joke.
She dude that Coffee Dude.
Do you not know my name?
Not the time, buddy.
Unfortunately, this joke is followed up by a pretty stupid twist.
Right on time, just as I planned. I know you couldn't resist rescuing your precious guardian, Nut. Now I have the pleasure of making you watch me wreck your favorite universe.
Oh yeah, Virus, this was totally your plan from the word jump. This isn't an attempt to cover up your blatant stupidity by spinning it as hidden genius.
What is her beef with you anyway?
We used to date.
I knew it!
If that's the case, would that have made you two a power couple?
Ahem! Without further ado.
Do you guys want to do something about this? Now would be the perfect time for you two to transform into your guardian forms and stop these crystals from doing whatever it is they're doing.
Now that the collection is complete, he should be arriving any minute.
Of course, because you do not possess sufficient power to complete your plan without him.
All the more reason to ask why you guys aren't powering up to put a stop to this woman right now.
Him? Who is him?
The only being who can actually destroy entire universes.
All right, people. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Bravery will be rewarded. Destinies will be revealed. And the honor of a new nation will be born. A nation which I will declare Kikassia!
No, that would be funny.
Instead, the real final boss is revealed to be a mass of tentacles and a single giant eyeball named the Emptier.
Must have taken you guys all week to come up with that name, huh?
Once he arrives, Virus informs him that her work on Earth is finished, and that he even has the good fortune of being able to personally destroy its creator. The Emptier responds by saying,
"Excellent! I am pleased with your servitude."
Oh God, that can't be his voice, can it?
She dumped you to work for him?
It is complicated.
It is not complicated.
He sounds like the gay younger brother of Patton Oswalt, who already sounds pretty gay. We're supposed to be terrified of this?
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Virus knew that I could offer her access to a power greater than any other.
Like solar power?
No, idiot. The power of destruction.
Guys, now would be a pretty good time to turn into Guardians and stop him.
Once the rotation reaches terminal velocity, this entire universe will be sucked into itself like a black hole, and there's nothing you can do about it. Classic Emptier move here.
Seriously, the villains are giving you all of the free time in the world to defeat them. So why are you just standing around like a couple of jackasses? Come on, these guys have spent the entire series making fun of their enemies for being stupid.
Once I finish collecting their energy in this crystal, my boss will be one step further along in his sinister plan.
Why is she telling us this?
I don't know. Seems really unnecessary.
And yet here they are, essentially letting the bad guys win because they're too stupid to use their fucking powers. Keep in mind, they don't have to be transformed to use their powers, as the second episode showed us. They could literally just summon a fucking bazooka and blow this place up sky high, but I guess they wanted to enjoy the pretty light show.
Beerus, I've tricked the creator and led her right to you. I've been a double agent this whole time!
Aren't you guys just glad that the fate of our entire universe lies in the hands of two morons who couldn't see past Corbin's obvious ruse? I know I am.
Disregard that. I'm actually a double agent!
Dude, just stop, okay? In fact, fuck it. I'm playing the Nostalgia Critic clip again.
You're a waste of thought.
Alex, Daisy, if you climb the chandelier and reach the emptier, perhaps you can stop the rotation. I will deal with Virus.
So what exactly was stopping you guys from doing this before this point?
Alright, I shouldn't complain too much, because Nut's battle plan directly leads to our protagonists transforming into their guardian forms. That means we get to skip past at least half a minute of the episode's runtime. Anyways, after they transform, they jump onto the weird dome-like structure that's towering over them while Virus slaps Nut away in one of the choppiest movements I've seen on this show. Seriously, take a look at this. It's almost as if they ran out of money while they were animating this episode.
I can't believe this is the worst bad guy in the whole Omniverse.
Alright, bitch. You don't get to mock anyone else's incompetence because all of your victories came from literal Deus Ex Machinas, and you waited until the Emptier arrived to transform.
As Daisy and the Emptier trade verbal blows, Alex tries to use one of her superpowers, but nothing comes out of her birth control pill case. Daisy tells her not to worry, and tries to use one of her own powers, but the only thing she can manage to conjure up is harmless smoke.
What the hell? These janky-ass magical objects are broken.
Which is probably why it would have been a smart idea to do all of this magical bullshit before the bad guy came.
Stupid! You're so stupid! Ever since we found out Nut gave us these powers randomly, it's felt less cool. Is it us?
What are you talking about? You guys have used your powers while thinking your situation was stupid plenty of times. You know, like in the first episode.
No, it's him. Male gaze motherfucker.
First of all, how do you know that this entity is a guy? It's probably a good idea to make sure that your social commentary actually makes sense within the world of your show before you put it in. Second of all, this is another good reason why you guys probably should have transformed before the evil being showed up in your universe.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar.
You can't stop the rotation. You're not magical. You're just two weak girls.
Says the villain who's wasting all of his time monologuing to these girls instead of just killing them with his powers.
Nut tries to appeal to Virus's good side, pointing out that they used to be in a relationship, but Virus predictably shoots her down, and then transforms into a lizard person. When she goes on about how the Emptier forced her to renounce the idea of being a loving, friendly person, Nut comes up with a solution to Alex and Daisy's predicament. See, the Emptier can't affect the love Alex and Daisy have for one another as friends, so they need to use that emotion if they want to get their powers back. Wait, what?
Girls, your friendship, the Emptier cannot block your love for each other.
Okay, I call bullshit. If friendship was the real source of their powers, then how come they were able to use their powers in the final fight of the last episode, when they were not on friendly terms?
Damn, I go to another world for one day and you start a fight with a bunch of... What are these things? Where the hell were you? Daisy, I know you probably had your own stuff going on today.
I called you like 9 times. I've been battling these freaks all alone. Birth control, abort operation. Cover me.
Long Zelig, cloud cover.
Yeah, it didn't seem like their hostility there impacted their ability to use their powers. Also, how were they even able to transform if the process is tied to their powers?
Even Alex and Daisy don't buy into this nonsense, and these are the same girls who thought leaving an entire room of innocent people to be turned into soulless robots was the right move to make just because those people claimed not to have a problem with it. So you know that means Nut's idea is bogus. And sorry to sound like a broken record here, but why aren't Virus and the Emptier taking this opportunity to slash their enemies into ribbons? I mean, they're literal sitting ducks, and yet they're engaging in this stupid conversation with them as if this was some kind of D&D session.
I swear, it's like every time the writers back themselves into a corner, their only solution is to pull out a Deus Ex Machina that demolishes plot points which were established previously.
Okay. Anyways, Nut pleads with them to just try her scheme, and so Alex and Daisy decide that the best way to show their friendship with one another is to give each other compliments.
I really like being your roommate, Daisy. I love how when I fall asleep watching Real Housewives on the couch, you put a blanket on me when you come home from a sex party 6 hours later.
I love you, Alex. I love your mom music and your vision boards. I love that you forgave me for stealing your fancy moisturizer and using it as lube.
Wow, I love how Alex points out something genuinely nice that Daisy does for her, and all Daisy can do is lie to her face while thanking her for being a doormat. No, Daisy, you've never liked Alex's hobbies and interests. In fact, you spent the entirety of the second episode making fun of them.
No!
Alex?
You know I need Carla St. Beverly's easy-listening, smooth jazz jams to focus.
Then take it into your own room, Mom.
You know, you guys should talk to my roommate. She says the stuff I like is mom stuff. Can you even believe? How do these cool teenagers know who you are, Nut? You're not cool.
And that's really cold, coming from Carla St. Beverly's #1 fan.
Like their young creator, the people of Nut's world were emotional. They were deeply attached to me and perceived my leaving their world as abandonment. My greatest mistake was in giving them the power to travel through universes. They warned me that they'd plant scouts in every world they could until they found me.
But they also might legitimately think I'm cool, right?
And even when her interests turned out to be the secret weapon that y'all needed to save the day, you still shat all over it.
This is super fucked up, Alex. What do we do?
I don't know. I can't think with this garbage music playing. I need my Carla St. Beverly.
Wait, it's working! Your boring mom stuff is killing their vibe!
And no, there was never a scene in any episode after this point where Daisy showed any appreciation for Alex's interests or musical tastes. So sorry guys, but this little attempt at an emotional moment doesn't work, because I did a little thing called paying attention to the story you've written.
But of course, because we can't ever introduce real stakes into this story, their impromptu therapy session works, and they unlock a more powerful version of their magical abilities.
I'll teach her to give me a fake promotion.
Okay, Alex, what is your obsession with Virus's betrayal? She was an obvious bad guy. Of course her offer of a promotion wasn't real. You're an idiot for thinking it was. First of all, stop sounding like such a fudge packer. Second of all, you had all of the time in the world to crush these guys into dust before they turned into Guardians. You do not get to blame Virus for being equally as stupid.
On the bright side, the next half a minute is dedicated to a long scene of Alex and Daisy fighting this upgraded version of Virus, and fortunately, I don't actually have all that much of an issue with this scene, because it's all well animated. Not only that, but they replaced the drab, ear-bleed-inducing punk rock music with a badass Japanese power rock song that I'm 99% sure they lifted from an anime that is probably much better than this. I mean, the problems I do have with it, chief among them being that Alex and Daisy suddenly know how to use abilities that they've never known about or practiced beforehand, is something I've been complaining about since the beginning of the series, so complaining about it now would just be a waste of breath. Anyhow, the fighting is interrupted by Virus intercepting Daisy's surprise attack and grabbing a hold of her neck. Alex tries to use an energy blast to free her, but the attack does no damage to Virus, who proceeds to throw Daisy off the roof.
And no, for those of you who are hoping that this will result in the death of the worst character in the series, it won't. Why not? Let me introduce you to Deus Ex Machina number 5028. For the last time, writers, it is difficult to get invested in your story when we know that there are never gonna be any real stakes in it.
So yeah, the Emptier complains about his crony being defeated, even though he's the one who could have helped her out at any time and just chose not to. And then Nut comes along to deliver yet another hypocritical speech.
I may be a helpless red panda, but I will always protect Alex and Daisy.
Yeah, just like how in the 4th episode, you had them face the mushroom parasites all by themselves because you were too scared of getting dirty from going into the subway.
The colony must have a leader who can call off the mushroom emanations, most likely in an environment reminiscent of their dank and fetid home universe.
The subway!
You two go on ahead. Yeah, I trust you.
You just don't want to get your fur dirty.
You're wasting valuable time. Go, 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 go.
Fucking people.
And where is your ally? You have pushed away anyone who matters to you. First me, now Corvin.
Big talk from the goddess who abandoned an entire world of sentient creatures that she created for no discernible reason, and only offered them an explanation for it after they sought her out. Hell, your own sister doesn't even like you, so who are you to judge, lady?
And after all you have sacrificed for him, I do not see the Emptier protecting you right now.
I've gotta give that one to Nut. Broken clocks and all that.
Saying Corvin ever mattered to me is a bit of a stretch.
Hurtful.
Wow, a joke that was both internally consistent with established lore and was actually funny? Alright, writers, I'll give you a tiny amount of credit for that one.
Beerus, dispose of these obstacles.
And you can't do anything right now. Why exactly?
Nevertheless, Virus grabs Nut with her tail and then uses her magical powers to grow a few horns. Alex and Daisy then combine their powers to hurl a magical fireball at Virus, who intercepts it with a laser beam coming out of her mouth, resulting in an awe-inspiring light show. I could reference an old-school YouTube poop meme here, but this show doesn't deserve being associated with something awesome. They go back and forth a few times before Nut gives our heroes an opening by biting Virus. Yes, this is a stupid way for the main bad guy to go out, and no, I don't care, because we're almost at the end of the show, and I want to get through this as quickly as possible. With that said, Alex and Daisy hit Virus with one final energy blast that finally defeats her, smashes the crystals, and banishes the Emptier. As the dust settles, Nut notices something that's meant to serve as the narrative hook for the second season.
A portal. She escaped to another universe.
And him?
I fear the Emptier will be back too, but we are safe for now.
It's a good thing that we're never gonna get a follow-up on any of this, because this shit got canned faster than you can say girl boss.
That was super intense.
Jesus, I forgot you were still here.
Oh, bullshit! You've spent this entire series basically advertising yourselves to the entire world. You do not get to pretend to worry about your secret identities getting exposed now.
You better not try to take the credit this time.
Coffee Dude had nothing to do with being credited for the fight in the first episode. He was asleep for most of it, just like everyone else at that cafe was. Even then, it's not as if him accepting the credit went to his head or anything, and he's just been through a traumatic kidnapping in which he almost lost everything that he cared about. Why are you being such a bitch to him, Daisy? Oh wait, I forgot. It's because you're a terrible character. Carry on.
That was all us three.
Well, 4. Obviously, I got inside Virus's head with my corporate espionage.
Really don't think so.
So, are they just gonna let this guy live? Because that's really fucking stupid. He willingly helped Virus and the Emptier, whose stated end goal was to destroy the entire universe, and he just demonstrated that his allegiance will change solely depending on who will grant him power. He tried to kidnap Daisy's parents and turn them into robots, for God's sake. After all of that, you're just gonna let him walk away?
Stupid! You're so stupid!
I mean, you guys have condemned innocent people to worse fates for pettier reasons. So what could possibly be more important than ensuring that a guy who almost destroyed the universe gets proper punishment for his crimes?
Nut, I can't believe you didn't tell us Virus was your ex.
It simply did not come up.
She's so hot.
You know, in like an evil way.
Of course in an evil way. Like Megan Fox.
You let a guy who is ostensibly even worse than Hitler and Stalin combined get away with his crimes so that you could make a sex joke. You aren't even gonna collect the shattered crystals and destroy them, thus ensuring that they can never be used for evil again?
Did she ever turn into a snake when you guys were doing it?
I will not dignify these questions with response.
That's a yes!
Oh shit! Getting that snake tail. You like that, don't you?
You know what? I actually can't imagine a more poetic way to end this series than this. I mean it! These writers have taken every opportunity they've had to tell a decent story and wasted it, either to tell a lame joke or push some stupid political agenda. So why wouldn't they ignore all of the implications of their final battle so that they could have Alex and Daisy gush about Nut's sex life? If anything, this is probably the artsiest thing they've done all series. Does that make this final episode any good? Hell no!
Alright, I'll be fair and concede that this isn't the worst episode of the show. Yeah, the plot was rushed and forced as all hell, but up until the very end, it didn't make me as mad as the last episode did. Hell, even when it did, it was much easier to swallow because I knew I wasn't gonna suffer these characters for much longer. In fact, this episode has Daisy acting at her absolute best, and I found myself rooting for her for the first time all series, even despite her being a total moron for believing Corvin. Not only that, but this was the funniest episode of the show. The jokes weren't anything groundbreaking, but they got me to chuckle a few times, which is way more than I can say for the rest of the series. Even the fight scene animation was a major step up from what we've seen before. It was fluid, it had dynamic shot composition, the spells were visually chaotic and colorful in an appealing way, and the movements of our characters had real weight to them. For the most part. With all of that said, this episode suffers from the same problems that plague all the others. A rushed, illogical story which was resolved with nonsensical deus ex machinas, morally reprehensible characters who are painted as paragons of virtue, and plot points that contradict ones that were written earlier in the show. The ending of the episode is where things truly fell apart though, as not only did it make no narrative sense, but it also made the characters out to be reckless genocide apologists, all for the sake of making a stupid sex joke. I have never been more happy to know that a show will never get a second season, which is the last thing you want a viewer of your serialized story to be saying.
Sorry about how anticlimactic my final thoughts are, but I just couldn't find it within myself to get all that worked up with this finale. Knowing that I was never gonna have to deal with these annoying ass characters ever again made me way more forgiving of this episode's flaws. Since there's nothing left to actually talk about, let me wrap up my little retrospective by giving my overall thoughts on this whole series. So, Magical Girl Friendship Squad is... not so fast, Critic! Oh my god, what is it, Professor? Can't you see that I'm about to castigate people who are far more talented than I will ever be? Don't be ridiculous, Critic. You've still got more episodes of the show to watch. What are you talking about? Why don't you look it up? Alright, I will. Now what's this about there being more episodes?
Alright, Magical Girl Friendship Squad, created by Kelsey Stephanides, first season consisted of 6 episodes. Wait a minute, what's this? Related Magical Girl Friendship Squad Origins? Let's see, adult animated sitcom, created by Kelsey Stephanides, pilot series, 6 15-minute long episodes?
Oh hell no, I ain't reviewing all of this. I'm out of here. Whoa! I said not so fast, Critic. You're going to sit there and review every episode of this pilot series, or I will char you to the bone! Isn't that a Nerf gun? Whoa! Got any more questions, smart guy? Damn it, Professor, I demand to know who set you up to this. Why, Critic, haven't you figured it out yet? You don't mean... No, not him. Oh. You mean... No, not him either. Oh. Oh my god!
Hello, Alex the Critic. Mwahahahaha!
Virus, I should have known that you were behind this. Only a lizard person could be this needlessly cruel.
That's right, Critic. I developed the original series to drive you and all other cartoon reviewers to the brink of insanity. And now, the good professor here is gonna make sure you finish the job. I'm sure you're aware of what'll happen if you refuse.
Fuck you! There's no way you could get me to sit through any more of this nonsense.
Well, I suppose we could force you to watch another Utterly Noah video.
Alright, I'll do it.
I look forward to hearing your thoughts, Critic, or reading your obituary. Mwahahahaha!
Well, I'm Alex the Critic, and I guess I'll see you guys next time when I review more episodes of Magical Girl Friendship Squad.